This is Shaker from the Massachusetts Connector for Business. This is a great program that allows for a lot of flexibility. For anybody in attendance today that has never offered benefits, please know that in January, there's a unique opportunity for you to offer benefits at no cost. The Massachusetts Health Connector for Business saved us over 30% on our employer match. And it also led to happier employees here at Brabo. So I wanted to share it with our client base. Pardon me. Shadra, without further ado, can you take it away?
Sure. Thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you everyone from Brabo. Happy to have you guys aboard both as brokers and as a new client of ours utilizing the Health Connector for Business. This is actually the best way to promote something such as the Health Connector for Business. Just really quickly, what I'm going to review here in the presentation is pretty much how small businesses in Massachusetts can actually provide affordable, flexible health coverage to their employees. So I'm hoping some of the benefits that I talk about today will be helpful for any of the attendees on the call today. Kevin, Gabby, feel free to cut in if there's anything you want to say on any of these slides, or obviously we can definitely save those comments and questions for the end. Okay, so Health Connector for Business, affordable, flexible health coverage. So what we're going to review today in hopefully a brief summary is what is the Health Connector for Business? What have employers been experiencing with Health Connector for Business through savings, through flexible choices, through rebates? And, you know, after all of those benefits are discussed, how do you go about getting started? So what is the Health Connector for Business? So actually the Health Connector for Business, we're the state marketplace. So we're the state agency that allows small businesses with 1 to 50 employees, that's initial enrollment, the ability to shop for plans through all the leading insurers in Massachusetts, which we have put all their brand names up here with their logos. So you have access to all of these carriers on the Health Connector for Business with exclusive cost savings and flexible choice benefits. And what we have found out from speaking to brokers, to employers, to employees, what are the benefits of utilizing the Health Connector for Business? So we as the Health Connector, we're trying to seek to maximize not only access, but affordability for small employers to offer health insurance in Massachusetts. So to achieve these goals, we've offered a range of cost-saving options, flexibility, and choice. So one thing I want to point out again is we have full carrier participation. Health Connector for Business is the only place where small businesses can go and access every single leading carrier in Massachusetts. We also offer competitive premiums. The way we offer competitive premiums is small businesses can save over 20% on average, even before rebates, by having the ability to comparison shop on our platform. As well as there's wellness rebates, which Kevin spoke about a little briefly in the beginning. Employers actually have the option, well, the opportunity to save 15% on what they put into the premiums over the year if they can get 33% of their employees to participate in a wellness activity. And I'll speak a little bit more in detail on that in a little bit. We also have,
hold on one second. For any of you guys that are paying the full cost of your employee benefits, that means you can save 15% on the whole thing. If you get a third of your employees to do a wellness initiative, which we can even help you to do, but that's incredible. So the higher percentage that you cover, the bigger amount, the larger amount of money that you can save using just that wellness initiative.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Exactly. The more you put in, the more you get back. So that's an exclusive option through us. Also, flexible employee choice. This is where we kind of allow for an employer to set a control cost, a cost that they know is their budget, and for their employees to shop for different plans that fit their needs. So an employer doesn't have to make the decision for all the employees. The employer just makes the decision for what works best for the business, and then that allows the employees to make the decision on what works best for their family. There's also certified assistance. So we have over 350 certified brokers available for free on the Health Connector for Business, and Brabo is one of those brokers. So I want to thank them for coming on board and allowing us to talk about this today. Also, keep in mind that anything that you offer your employees on the Health Connector for Business meet federal and state coverage requirements. So you have that peace of mind that you are offering your employees coverage that will not get a tax penalty when they go to do their taxes. So I just want to point out some plan highlights on the Health Connector for Business that is, often comes into question when a employer is offering health insurance to their employees. First of all, on the Health Connector for Business, all carriers have a health savings account compatible plan at the silver level, which is usually around the $2,000 deductible level. But every single carrier has a health savings account, a compatible plan on the Health Connector for Business. So if you're a small employer who offers a health savings account plan, which is, a tax advantage medical savings account, you know that your employees will have access to shop for that on the Health Connector for Business. We also offer out-of-state coverage, meaning we offer PPO plans. We understand, especially now, everyone's working remotely, right? Employers can have employees who do not live in the state of Massachusetts and need access to a PPO plan in comparison to an HMO plan, and we do have that available from most of the carriers. Not all of them, but most of them. And I just want to state again, coverage you can trust. Every single plan on the Health Connector for Business meets minimum credible coverage and has received the Health Connector seal of approval for quality and value. So when I say minimum credible coverage, and of course, Gabby and Kevin might talk a little bit more about this when you're speaking to them about offers of coverage. These are the minimum coverage that has to be offered by a plan in order for a employee to have a plan that meets minimum coverage. And these are the 5 items that must be covered by the plan. There could be more benefits covered by the plan, but these are the minimum. Every plan on the Health Connector for Business covers at least the minimum benefits here, as well as there may be extra benefits. So what are employers' experience with the Health Connector for Business? Very early on, I talked about saving over 20% on average by shopping through the Health Connector for Business. The reason that employers are able to save over 20% on average is because they can comparison shop. You have all the leading insurers at your fingertips in one location. We are like a one-stop shopping solution. You go in there, you can choose from different benefit models, which we'll get into in a little bit, and then you can compare the premiums over carriers. And it's right there. So what happens is employers are making wiser financial decisions and saving themselves, as you can see, at the silver option, which tends to be one of the more popular choices. The employers who come and buy a silver option often save on average about 26% savings here at the Health Connector in comparison to the green, which would be them buying off the Health Connector, either at another intermediary or straight to the carrier. They're just making a decision that saves the money for the business. Also, what we found through some surveys is these are the 4 main reasons or 4 positive reasons that employers like shopping on the Health Connector for Business. One of them is the flexible choice, the employee choice models, which I can't wait to explain in like a few seconds. The rebates, which I know Kevin loves, the Connect Well rebate, that the employer can get back 15% on what they put into the contributions if 33% of their employees complete one of the 30 pre-approved wellness activities. The tax credit. So I don't talk too in depth about the tax credit, but I want to let you know that one of the requirements to get the small business healthcare federal tax credit is to shop on a state marketplace. The Health Connector for Business is the only state marketplace in Massachusetts. There are some other eligibility requirements such as average income, size of group. Those are items that your accountant or your tax professional can definitely look at, but it is an opportunity for you to open the conversation with this tax professional to say, hey, I shopped on a state marketplace for health insurance. Can you see if I'm eligible for the small business healthcare tax credit? Also, to utilize the Health Connector for Business, there are no fees and no membership dues. The only thing you have to do is pay your premium. So you don't have to pay us to utilize our system. You don't have to pay a broker to give you advice on the Health Connector for Business. It is free to utilize the Health Connector for Business. Just pay the premium.
In our situation on the health tax credit, just to help give a little bit of clarity on that, we found that that was about 15% for my business. So by doing the wellness initiatives plus the tax credits, we were able to save about 30% on the employer match. The employer match typically for us is $250 a month per employee, roughly. So 250 times, 0.3 even. That saves you $75 per employee per month times 12. It's about $900 per year that you can potentially save between those two programs on average.
Great. Thank you, Kevin.
Sorry, I love math.
That's great. Yeah, that's what they're going to utilize you for, to break down the math part, right? So let me go into our employee choice models. The employee choice model is a very exclusive option only available on the Health Connector for Business. And it's, unique. It's a great opportunity to provide savings. It's a great opportunity to provide choice to your employees. So it's very attractive for your current employees and new employees. So what is the goal of employee choice models? The goal of employee choice models is to allow for an employer to control their costs while providing multiple insurance options to employees. And so since we are completely online, it's very easy for employees to compare their options and choose a plan that best fits the needs of their family. These are what they're called. They're called one plan, one carrier, one level. And this little grid here is very, it speaks about it on a health insurance level. But what I'm going to do is break one plan, one carrier, one level down, and I'm going to explain it in pizza. So I think we've all been ordering a little bit of takeout lately. Maybe we've gotten some pizza. So this will feel very, familiar to all of us currently. So how does one plan work? Imagine you and your employee decide to share the cost of a pizza. Okay, the employee is going to get the pizza, but you're going to share the cost of it with them. Now, in one plan, you, the employer, decide that the employee is going to get a $10 pepperoni pizza from the pizzeria down on the corner, and you're going to agree to pay for half the cost. So the way that works is you would say to the employee, you're going to get this $10 pepperoni pizza. We're going to order it from the pizzeria down the block. I'll pay $5. You'll pay $5. So the employee didn't get a choice. The employee is going to get the pepperoni pizza from the pizzeria down the block, and they're going to pay for half of it. So in a health insurance environment, that is how one plan works. You choose what carrier the employee is going to have a plan from. You choose the plan that the employee is going to have, and then you choose how much the business is going to pay into it. And then the employee enrolls or waives that plan if they have health insurance elsewhere. So there was no choice from the employee. That is offered on the Health Connector for Business. That is offered across Massachusetts. It's not exclusive to us, but it is an option that is available through the employee choice model because it is something that is familiar to small businesses in Massachusetts. One carrier is exclusive to the Health Connector for Business, and this is how it would work if you were ordering pizza. So you say to your employee, let's share the cost of a pizza. You say to your employee, we're going to order a pizza from, and you choose the pizzeria down on the corner, maybe. That's the one you're going to order from. You tell them, you know what, we can share the cost of it with you. The business can afford to pay for half of a $10 pepperoni pizza. So now you're saying, you know what, the business can afford to pay $5 towards your pizza. You tell the employee, you don't have to buy the pepperoni pizza. We're going to give you the $5 from that pepperoni pizza, but you have to buy a pizza from that pizzeria down the block. So then your employee can go, okay, look at the menu from down the block and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to get a cheese pizza. So the cheese pizza might only be $8. You've already set your budget that you can afford to give them $5 towards the pepperoni pizza. So you're going to give them $5 towards the cheese pizza. They'll pay the other $3. Maybe they're fine with buying the pepperoni pizza. So they'll pay the other $5. You pay the $5. But maybe they want a Supreme, right? The Supreme is a $15 pizza. But you've already said our budget is the $5 pepperoni pizza. So the employee will pay the other $10 because they bought up. So that's how it would work if you were buying pizza in one carrier in a health insurance environment. This is how it would work. So you would choose the carrier. You would pay for one of the benefit levels in the carrier. And then the employee can either go ahead and choose the one that you offered or pay the difference outside of the plan that you offered and choose the benefit level that works best for their family. Some employees might want something with a lower deductible, higher premium. Maybe they go to the doctor more often and they'd rather have less out-of-pocket costs and more out of their paycheck. That's fine. They would buy up to a higher metal tier. Maybe an employee feels, very comfortable. They kind of only go to the doctor for their well visits, emergency, anything like that. And they'd rather have a higher deductible, higher out-of-pocket cost, but a lower premium. Then they would buy down to a lower tier. But they can make that decision for themselves. The only thing is they are subject to the network of that carrier that you chose. So that's one carrier. How does one level work? Again, you say to your employee, let's share the cost of a pizza. This time you decide you are going to get a pepperoni pizza. So you're telling the employee what kind of pizza they're going to get. You then decide that you can afford the $10, you can afford half of the $10 pepperoni pizza from the pizzeria down the block. So you've set your cost. But maybe your employee doesn't want the pepperoni pizza from the one down the corner. I don't know, maybe they want to go to one, a fancier one, sit down, when we get back to sitting down. Or maybe they want to go to, maybe a nation brand name that's, quicker, less expensive. They can make that choice where they want to go and pay the difference outside the one of the pizzeria that you chose down the block. The only thing is they have to come back with a pepperoni pizza. So you only chose the pizza. In one level, that's how this works. You as the employer choose the benefit option. So here I highlighted gold, which is usually around like $1,000 deductible. You've chosen the benefit option that everyone's going to have access for. You pay into one of the carrier's plans that you could afford as a budget, and then you allow for the employees to buy across the carriers. And that is very important to an employee because carriers are networked. So an employee might have a doctor who is not in the network of the carrier that you chose to pay into, and maybe it's in another carrier's network. So then they can just pay the difference outside the carrier and pay for that network and not have to lose their doctor, because doctors are very important to employees. So this is really a doctor shopping option. And that's one level, and that's exclusive to the Health Connector for Business. So let's talk a little bit about Connect Well. So Connect Well, as you know, is an opportunity for you as an employer to receive back a 15% rebate on your contributions towards the premiums for the year if 33% of your employees participate in one of the wellness activities. You have to have 25 or fewer employees enrolled to be eligible for this, and obviously you have to be enrolled on the Health Connector for Business. We have over 30 pre-approved wellness activities, so there's something that everyone can do. And we have a focus right now on activities that can be done from home, considering, the fact that we haven't had access to gyms and fitness classes. So what we found is in 2019, the average Connect Well rebate for an employer was about $3,000. And as Kevin said before, this is all based on how much do you put into this. The more you put in, the more you get back. And this is a live check. This is not a rebate off of the next year or anything. This is a live check that we give you at the end of the year. Now, what will make employees participate? Well, they're incentivized with a $100 Visa gift card. So once they've completed an activity that is approved, they will receive a $100 Visa gift card. And as I said before, there's 30 pre-approved wellness activities. They focus on mind, body, money. So mental, physical, financial health. These are an example of a few of them. As you can see under body, just actually going for their well visit is an activity that can be approved. So that's extremely easy. It doesn't even actually cost the employee anything because a well visit is free. So, and the employee would get a $100 Visa gift card for going for their well visit. And they only have to do one of these items. We, as the Health Connector for Business, want to see you get this rebate. So we help you along the way promote this. First of all, if you're eligible, we automatically enroll you. You don't have to ask us to be enrolled. So about 2 weeks after your health insurance starts, if you're eligible, we enroll you and we email you about the Connect Well plan. Then we also email the employees. We tell them, go participate in an activity, get a $100 Visa gift card. We promote this. We do this on an every other month basis also, just to let you know. So we keep in contact with you and the employees to let you know where you're at before the year's end. Once an employee completes their activity, they can submit the proof online. Everything's online, no paperwork needed. Once the activity is approved, we send them their $100 Visa gift card. We want them to tell the other employees they got this. And then once you have hit 33% participation, we let you know you're going to be eligible for that rebate. You're going to get it at the end of the year, but you know you're eligible already. And then at the year's end, you will receive the rebate worth up to 15% of your annual premium contributions. And this is actually a Facebook Live series that we did last year. And we interviewed one of the small business owners that received the check, and we brought her this like Publishers Clearinghouse check. And what she said was, we heard that there would be a 15% rebate. And I said, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. And here it is. So that was Marcy Berger's quote on receiving the Connect Well rebate. She was very happy. So now that you've heard about these benefits, the Connect Well rebate benefit, the employee choice models, the small business healthcare tax credit, the saving over 20% on average by comparison shopping. Maybe you're thinking now, how do I get started? Well, very easy. Everything is online. So you would visit our website, which will be displayed at the end of the presentation. Then you as an employer, you'll shop for the plan that you're offering them. Are you going to offer them a one plan? Are you going to offer them a one carrier? Are you going to offer them a one level? And by the 10th of the month previous to the month that you want to enroll your business, you would have to offer this to the employees online. Then the employees, they all open their own accounts and they shop. So they either enroll or waive by the 20th. The first payment is made online by the 23rd and your coverage begins first of the month. We try to make this as seamless as possible and as easy as possible to hit these deadlines. And like I said, everything's online, so there's no need to pass around paperwork, fax, email, anything like that.
There's a good amount of work that goes into setting all these up. So what we'll do is we'll send out a follow-up email at the end of this. If anybody is interested in getting set up on the Connector for Business, we can actually make sure that we help you open the account, manage you on the deadlines. It's a little bit less forgiving on the timelines. So it is really important that you get everything done in a very timely manner. So you can reach out to any member of my team or we'll follow up with an email at the end of this.
And Kevin, that leads into my last slide perfectly, because what are the benefits of using a broker? So you just heard about these deadlines that you have to hit, and you just heard about all of these options that are available to you and what could be savings, you know, a lot of math involved. So the Health Connector for Business, we currently have over 350 certified brokers out there to help you. Key, brokers are free for you to use. There is no cost for you to utilize a broker for Health Connector for Business, any kind of business on the Health Connector for Business.
Health insurance is confusing. You could use the help.
Yep. Employers can utilize brokers to show them easy cost estimates. Brokers can sit there and break it down for you what the different plans are that you are going to need. You don't even have to create an account to start this. They could just start quoting you without an account, and then when you're ready to move forward, you create the account and they can take over on your behalf. This is what brokers do for their livelihood. They understand health insurance. They are there as your experts. Utilize them. They can help you compare options that are available to you. I don't know how Brabo does it, but maybe just a short interview, just seeing what you're looking for. They understand what to provide you based on your cost, your need, and your employees' need. Also, you have your business to focus on. By utilizing a broker, that's going to save you time. Brokers can help you manage the enrollment process, the plan creation, the continuous maintenance on the account, and the renewal. And then you can spend time on what's more important to you, and that's your business.
We also help with access to care issues, which means that basically if you have an employee that signed up for Blue Cross and a doctor saying that they might not cover things, but you think it's in the plan and it should be covered, we can represent you by calling Blue Cross or the connector to make sure that we advocate for you and your employee to get the coverage that you need. I felt like there was one other thing I wanted
to throw in there too. As Shadra had mentioned, there are some plans that are HSA eligible, which was a huge factor for me personally getting on the Health Connector for the first time. Navigating HSAs and FSAs is a headache and a half, and that's something where we have systems and options available to our clients. So if you yourself or you have an employee who's interested in HSA plan, it's another reason to use a broker like us.
One other thing that I'd like to touch on, Shadra, is this the end of the webinar?
This is open forum for you guys, and yeah.
So just one other thing that I think does in some ways indirectly save clients money is that every one of your employees' pricing is based on their unique situation. So as it typically stands, if you go with Blue Cross, Harvard Pilgrim, Tufts, like just traditional benefit carriers, they're taking your entire group at renewal and they're giving you a rate for all single people. And then if your group has a bunch of 28-year-olds and then all of a sudden later in the year you have a 63-year-old join, that 63-year-old pays the same as all the 28-year-olds. And then you go through the renewal, and having an older person on the plan bumps up everybody's rates. What I really like about the connector is it lets individuals buy their own health plan. In this example, everybody is graded on their own age and their own sex, and you pay half of that. And you ask why that might be an important thing. It's if somebody's evaluating benefits and they're just going with it because it's way cheaper, not realizing the impact that they're going to have on the global organization, then they might just jump on your plan. Whereas though here, they're going to look at it and it's going to be cost appropriate for their age. So if they're married and their spouse offers benefits and it's less expensive, it's a possibility that they may jump on their spouse's plan. Again, it's making people that contribute to the cost of health insurance pay their fair share as opposed to hiding in a group. So I think it's a very helpful tool in that way.
Did you guys want to open this up for questions now?
Yes. So Rachel just asked, is there an income limitation like the Connect Care plan for personal? And no, there's no income restrictions on these plans. I did actually get one other question this morning. Let me just see if I can find it. Diane. Okay. Is Diane in here today? Let's see. So Diane, you are here, right? So I appreciate your recent PPP webinars. Informative. I have a question for today's webinar. We're a small Massachusetts-based company with 13 employees covering 5 states: Massachusetts, New York, South Carolina, Illinois, and Ohio. Are we able to get health insurance through the Massachusetts Connector, or must all employees be Massachusetts-based? And what I would say about that is the Massachusetts Connector, as long as you're headquartered in Mass, can be an option. You're going to have to choose a PPO option. Gabby, do you want to speak to what happens when we have to include a PPO just to kind of set the right expectations?
In regards to?
Like what plans, we just went through this recently with a client. So
okay, so for example, if we want to offer a PPO that's not available on the silver tier of one group, which is the one that's eligible for HSAs. So if you have a group that's really sold on having an HSA, they have to go to the platinum tier and not the silver. So you can't have PPOs offered as well as HSA eligible plans.
Yeah, Gabby, do you mind if I just speak on that a little bit? So,
yes,
yep. So on the Health Connector for Business, the only thing with the PPO is that it can only be offered on the one carrier model. So the employer would have to choose the carrier, does not have to pay into the PPO, can give the PPO as an option to the employees. And the employees would be able to shop from a silver, gold, or platinum plan. I don't know, based on the carrier that's offered, it all depends on where the PPO lands. It could be a silver plan, it could be a gold plan. It just depends on which carrier, but the PPO is an option that's available, but the employer would have to offer the one carrier model in order to give them access. And in that case, there would just be that carrier's one HSA option. But the other employees who don't need the PPO wouldn't have to enroll in it. They could just enroll in one of the HMO plans or the HSA compatible plans, or, or they can enroll in the PPO plan. You also don't have to be an out-of-state employee to enroll in the PPO. You can enroll it in if you are here in the state under one carrier.
Yeah. So, and everybody's situation is unique. I know we're saying a lot of stuff like HSA, PPO, and if that doesn't mean anything to you or doesn't make sense, that's what we're here for. We can help you to offer health benefits for the very first time if you never have. Diane has another question. Is this available to an S Corp with one employee? Do any of these benefits change? You could be offered, I'm not really sure why you would do it as a single owner S Corp for the business owner yourself, because it's going to get reported on your W-2 if your payroll company is worth anything or if they know what they're doing. That being said, if you're an S Corp and the one employee is not an owner, this is a great option to offer a health plan to one employee. And then Rachel just asked, if we just get my husband and I for the business, can we still get the wellness rebates? If owners participate, can owners get the wellness rebates?
Yes. So if an owner is enrolled with obviously another employee, because on our platform we can't just enroll owner and spouse. But if an owner is enrolled with another employee, then the owner can be part of the Connect Well.
All right. I just got probably one of my most favorite questions in the world from anonymous attendee. I appreciate you identifying yourself, anonymous. What is the downside? And I am all about transparency. It's a relatively cumbersome product. It has more rigid barriers to entry, less forgiving deadlines. So, you really have to get your enrollment done at the right time. You really have to make your first payment at the right time. There are occasionally some headaches that we run into with employees that are already on the connector or Mass Health that we have to troubleshoot. But the downside is typically around the open enrollment timeframe. After that, it's one of the best programs out there. The upsides greatly outweigh the downsides. I would say that this is definitely a great option for small businesses looking to offer choice. I would say that an engineering firm looking for primo benefits, paying everything, typically is going to do better with a more traditional carrier. Typically, restaurants, construction, transportation, in-home healthcare, you've never offered benefits before. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what the outcome's going to be like. This is great to get on. And also, if you're already on one of the traditional carriers and you have a demographic of employee that could stand to save some money, this is great if you care about your employees also saving money. But I would say that it's 100% worth evaluating in every single situation because of the 15% that you can get just by doing the wellness initiatives. And if you're under 25 employees, that tax credit can be awesome. So James Fitzgerald, who's one of my favorite clients, just asked, currently I pay $2,100 for an always plan for myself and my wife for insurance. I cannot afford to pay half of that per employee, 5 to 6 others. So is there a minimum amount or percentage that I must pay? We're an S Corp. My wife and I are the only ones that accept the plan. Can I still use it? So if it's an S Corp with just you and your wife, the owner and wife, no, you cannot use this if you do not offer it to your employees. It would not be $1,000 a month. So James, I can help you to price this out for what would happen if every employee took it. And I think being transparent, not everybody would take it. But my guess is that we would see, everybody has to get a quote in order for it to be official, but you're looking at $200, $250 employer side per month for a single person and more if they're, a family plan. But we could certainly help you price evaluate for your specific group. And I really do think that you should take a look at this with Gabby later on today. Rachel, We have all 1099s. Can they be considered for insurance? Not on the connector, but I do have an option. So National General is a partially self-funded plan that we use, and it can be used for 1099s. If you'd like to talk to us about it, just shoot us an email, and I'll set up a meeting to help scratch that itch. Any other questions? Well, I really do appreciate everybody taking the time out of their morning to come in and check out the Health Connector for Business. If you would allow us to get you a little bit more information for your specific situation, just send us an email to service@brabopayroll.com, and we'll set up a meeting so that we can help you evaluate the options and see if we can't help save you some money. Thanks for coming.